Let's start this drawing out by drawing as much of the front view as we possibly can. I'm going to draw a line from this intersection to this intersection. Draw another line to this intersection, and I'm going to drag a line straight up by 1 unit. I'm going to draw another line from this point over by 1 unit. I'm going to draw a line down to a temporary track point. That temporary track point will be right here. So I'll left click and left click again. The next thing I'm going to do is draw as much of the right view as I possibly can. So let's draw a rectangle from an intersection here to another intersection right here. I'm going to explode that geometry because I'll probably want to copy individual pieces of it. So let's copy this line, and I'll copy it from this point up to that point. Now I'm going to complete as much of the top view as I can. So let's draw a rectangle from an intersection to another intersection, and I'm going to explode that rectangle. I'm going to copy this line from this point to this point. Now I'm going to copy this line in this direction by 1.75 units. That line is going to help me identify a point right up here in this view. Next, I'm going to copy this construction line at 0.25 units, and I'll repeat that by copying this construction line straight down by 0.25 units. Now I'm going to draw a line, but I'm going to draw that line from an apparent intersection of this line and this line, and I'll draw it to an intersection right here. I'm going to use the mirror tool and mirror that diagonal line about the midpoint of this line. I'll use my trim tool to identify each of these two diagonal lines as cutting edges and trim away this geometry. Now I'm going to draw a circle, but I'm going to snap from this midpoint, and I'll type at a negative 2.25, comma, 0, and press the enter key. That was my cell phone that you heard, by the way. Let's make this distance 0.5 and draw a line exactly from a quadrant to a point perpendicular to here. I'm going to mirror this line about this midpoint. We'll place it into that position. Now I'm going to make all of these lines cutting edges and trim this. So let's go back to our previous perspective. We'll take a look at this drawing, and we can see that the feature that I just added still has to be located in this right side view as well as the front view. So I'm going to draw on the hidden line layer, and I'm going to draw a line exactly from the midpoint of that arc to a point perpendicular to that line. I'll use the trim tool and trim this line. Now I'm going to draw a line exactly from an intersection here to an intersection over here. That line is a miter line. We're going to use that right now. I'm going to draw a line exactly from that point so that it intersects the miter line. And I'll repeat that command to draw another line exactly from an intersection here to a point that is perpendicular to here. And now I'll use my trim tool to trim that. That miter line helps me locate features in one view by projecting them from another view through the miter line. Let's do that again. If I want to know where this intersection is in this right side view, I can draw a line so that it intersects the miter line. Then draw a line exactly from an intersection so that it is perpendicular to this line. Oops. Let's do that again so that it is perpendicular to that line. Now I'll use the trim tool and let's trim this. And this construction line I can get rid of. As you can see that I do subscribe to ESET. So let's turn that off.